It's a Tuesday morning. You woke up when your body decided it was time. No alarm, no meeting, no reason to be anywhere. You make coffee slow, real slow. You stand at the window for a few minutes just watching the street. And at some point, a thought crosses your mind, a quiet one. Not anxious, just curious. You think, I wonder what it would feel like to live somewhere completely different for a while. And then, almost immediately, something else comes in behind that thought, something heavier. It sounds like, but the house. That's what I want to talk about today. There are two versions of retirement that I see play out. Not good and bad, it's not that simple. More like two different bets people make about what the next chapter is going to feel like. And most people make one of those bets without really examining it. They just default into it because it's what you do. Let me tell you about both versions. The first version looks like this. You've worked your whole life, you've been responsible, you own your home, maybe it's paid off, maybe it's close, and the plan is to stay. Keep the house, keep the roots, keep the familiar. On paper, this makes complete sense. You've got equity, you've got stability, you know where the grocery store is, your stuff fits. And for a lot of people, this genuinely is the right call. I want to be clear about that before I say anything else. If your home is paid off, if your costs are low, if you love where you are and your health is solid and that community feeds you, stay. Absolutely stay. This isn't an argument against owning a home. It's an argument for actually choosing instead of just ending up somewhere by default. Because here's what the first version can quietly become. The furnace needs replacing. The roof's got maybe 4 or 5 good years left. The yard doesn't maintain itself. The neighborhood's changed. Your kids are 3 states away. And every month, there are costs, taxes, insurance, maintenance, the slow leak of upkeep that don't show up in the fantasy version of home ownership people carry around in their heads. You're equity rich and cash flow tight, and that combination in retirement is more stressful than most people admit out loud. Now here's the second version. You rent. Maybe you downsize first, sell the house, take what you've built, and put it somewhere it can actually work for you. You find a place you love, sign a lease, and suddenly your monthly outlay is predictable in a way it hasn't been in years. No surprise repair bills, no property tax reassessments, no weekend projects that used to feel satisfying and now just feel like a to-do list that never ends. When something breaks, you call someone, and that someone isn't you. I know what someone's already thinking. You're just throwing money away. That's the line, right? Renting is throwing money away. And I want to sit with that for a second because it's worth taking seriously. It's not a stupid thing to say. It comes from somewhere real. But let me ask you something. What does throwing money away actually mean? Because the interest you paid on your mortgage for the first 20 years of the loan, that went to the bank, not to your equity. The property taxes you've paid every single year, those didn't build you anything. The new water heater, the repaved driveway, the leaking window you fixed twice, none of that comes back to you when you sell. We don't call those things throwing money away because they're wrapped inside the story we tell about ownership. But a rent payment, which gives you a roof, a functioning home, total flexibility, and zero surprise costs, that somehow gets labeled as waste. The money isn't the whole story. It never was. Here's what actually matters in retirement, and I mean actually matters, not theoretically matters. Cash flow. Monthly, reliable, predictable cash flow. Not a number on a statement. Not equity you can't spend without selling or borrowing. Money that moves through your life and gives you choices every single month. And renting, for a lot of people, frees up more of that than they realize. When your home equity is sitting in a piece of real estate you're living in, it's not working for you. It's just sitting there. The moment you make it liquid, invest it, generate income from it, use it to build a financial cushion that actually breathes, it becomes something you can feel. There's also something we don't talk about enough, and it's not financial at all. It's the weight. The low-grade, background, easy-to-ignore weight of owning something that requires constant attention. You know the feeling. Something always needs doing. Something's always on the list. And in your working years, you push through it because you don't have a choice. But in retirement, you have a choice. You just might not have given yourself permission to exercise it. Because here's the thing about that second version, the renting version that people who've actually done it describe. It's not the money they notice first. It's the lightness. They wake up and there's just less noise in the back of their mind, less stuff that's technically their responsibility, more mornings that feel like that Tuesday I described at the start, open, unhurried, yours. And I think a lot of people have been told in 1,000 different ways that wanting that is somehow irresponsible. That letting go of the house means letting go of the proof that you did something, that you built something, that you made it. I want to push back on that gently because I mean it. You spent decades building a life, paying into something, showing up, and you did make it. Not because you have a deed somewhere, but because you're here and you have choices now that you didn't have before. The house was a chapter. A good one, probably. But you're allowed to turn the page. You're allowed to want a chapter that's lighter, that's more fluid. That lets you say, you know what, I want to try somewhere new for a year without it being a logistical and financial event. The equity you've built is real. The freedom you can buy with it is also real. You don't have to choose the version that looks responsible from the outside if it doesn't feel right from the inside. So here's what I want to leave you with. Not a verdict, just a question worth sitting with, honestly. When you picture staying in your home through retirement all the way through, not just the next few years, does that picture feel like security or does it feel like weight? Because there's a difference, and only you know which one it actually is. Drop it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. Are you planning to stay and own, or are you thinking about making a move toward renting? And if you've already made the switch, what surprised you most? Tell me down there. See you in the next one.